They threw her a party the day after they let me sleep hungry. The night I turned 16, I ate a guest at a gas station. Granola bar alone in my car and cried so hard I couldn't see the steering wheel. My parents were home, my sister was at home. There was food in the kitchen, candles in the drawer, and a birthday cake sitting in the refrigerator with my sister's name on it. Wait, let me say that again. My sister's name on my birthday cake. Not a mistake, not a typo. I need you to understand, they ordered the cake for my birthday and put her name on it. When I pointed it out, my mother looked at me with this flat, tired expression and said, Brianna loves cake. Does it really matter whose name is it on? I was 16 years old and I didn't have an answer for that. I just went upstairs, grabbed my keys, and drove to the gas station. That was the night I started understanding that something in my family was very, very wrong. My name is Dani. My sister's name is Brianna. We are 14 months apart. She's older, and for the outside, we probably look like a normal family. Nice house in the suburbs, dad worked in finance, mom did part-time bookkeeping, two daughters, decent school district, a dog named Peppa. But here's what the outside didn't show. Brianna got new clothes every season. I wore what didn't fit her anymore. Brianna had her own bathroom I shared with my parents. Brianna got a car at 16. I used Honda, but still a car. When I turned 16, my parents said the budget was too tight. That was the same month they put in a new backyard patio that cost $8,000. I told myself there were reasons. I was younger. Maybe things would balance out. Maybe I was too sensitive. I said that to myself for years. Too sensitive. Danny, you're too sensitive. The thing about gaslighting yourself is that it works until it doesn't. The breaking point wasn't dramatic. It never is. It was a Tuesday in March, junior year. I had gotten into a summer pre-med program at Northwestern, one of 40 students selected from the entire Midwest. I had applied secretly, spent 3 months on the essays, asked my biology teacher for a recommendation because I knew my parents wouldn't write one with any enthusiasm. I came home with the letter, physically shaken. Mom was in the kitchen. I handed her the letter. She read it, and her first words, I will still remember them until the day I die. First words were, does this cost anything? Because Brianna's dance intensive is already stretching as a thing. Not congratulations, not pride, not even acknowledgement that I had done something remarkable. I took the letter back. I went upstairs, I sat on my bed, and I made a decision. I was done trying to make them see me. I was going to make the world see me instead. The next 2 years, I became a ghost in that house. I showed up, I ate dinner, I answered questions, but I stopped bringing them anything that mattered. No achievements, no feelings, no nothing. I gave them nothing real, because every real thing I had been broken. Meanwhile, Brianna's life was on full display and full funding. Her dance recitals, her friend drama, her college applications. My mother spent 3 weekends helping Brianna write essays. I did mine alone at the library at 11 p.m. I got into my first choice university, full academic scholarship. I printed the confirmation email and left it on the kitchen counter. My dad walked past it 3 times before he noticed. When he finally read it, he said, good. Huh? Good? 14 years of being his daughter, and I go, good? I left for school that August and told myself I felt nothing. I was lying. I cried the entire 4-hour drive. Not because I would miss them, because I finally had to admit they would not miss me. College saved my life. I don't say that lightly. I mean that the distance, the freedom, the first experience of being in rooms full of people who actually saw me, it rebuilt something I hadn't realized had been completely dismantled. I had friends, real ones. I had a professor who told me I had one of the sharpest minds she'd seen in 20 years of teaching. I had late nights and terrible dining hall food and study groups and all the ordinary magic of being young and becoming yourself. I went home for holidays because I hadn't fully cut the cord yet. Each visit confirmed what I already knew. Sophomore year, Brianna called me. This was unusual. We weren't close. She called me maybe twice in a year, and both times were usually because she needed something. She sounded strange, quiet. Can I come visit you? She asked. Just for a weekend, I need to get out of the house. Something in her voice made me say yes. She arrived on a Friday night looking smaller than I remembered, thinner. She sat on my dorm room bed and for an hour we talked about nothing. Campus stuff, my classes, safe topics. Then, at almost midnight, she got very still. I need to tell you something. And I need you to understand that I didn't know for a long time. I genuinely didn't know. I waited. She reached into her bag and pulled out a folded piece of paper. She held it for a moment before handing it to me. Her hands were shaking. It was a letter, old, the paper slightly yellowed, a handwriting I didn't recognize. I read it, then I read it again. The letter was from my mother's sister, my Aunt Carol, who I had met maybe 4 times in my entire life because my mother had fallen out with her years ago and never explained why. It was dated about a year before I was born. It said this: I know you don't want to hear it again, but that little girl deserves to know who she becomes. Brianna is not just yours to keep. She has a father who is asking questions, and one day she will too. You can pretend our family doesn't exist, but you cannot pretend forever. Please think about what you're doing to her. I looked up at Brianna. She was crying silently, watching me read. I found a box in Mom's closet 2 months ago. There are more letters. There are many. There are photographs. The room went very quiet. Brianna, what are you telling me? She wiped her face, the back of her hand. We don't have the same father, she said. Mom got pregnant before she met Dad. Her family, they're Brianna's biological father family. Mom cut them all off and never told anyone, not even Dad. I sat with that for a long time. Does Dad know? She shook her head. Does he know now? She looked at me with the saddest eye I have ever seen on a person. He found the box last month, she said. That's why I needed to leave the house.